Hi friends! So we're going to talk about Mufasa the Lion King, the brand new movie that came out from Disney. It is the live action. I took notes because I really wanted to share my thoughts on this. This is going to be a semi-non-spoiler. I mean, it's a prequel. We all know what comes after this, so there's not really much I could spoil even if I tried. There is just how does Scar get his scar. That's the only thing that someone could potentially spoil for you. So let's start off. We're going to talk about the story, then the actors and characters, and then the music.
I'm here to protect you, my brother.
Mufasa! This was a bad idea!
I did like the story. I could tell that they had the big idea of wanting to say how Mufasa was born, what made him end up being an orphan, and then how he became king. And so if you follow that through line, yes, it makes sense. However, one thing that I really am... It's getting harder and harder to watch movies as someone who loves movies because I am finding less and less movies are really paying attention to momentum and pacing. So, for example, right after the moment that Mufasa loses his parents, it's really heavy and they animated it perfectly. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it was the same thrill, almost exactly, but maybe the 2 degrees less of the same thrill of when Mufasa dies in The Lion King. I felt that same angst, and the music was incredible, animation, glorious. Right after it, though, he meets Taka, who is Scar, but Taka comes prancing in and it's like, I have a secret, you're gonna die! And it's so jarring because both of them are talking to each other very lighthearted, and it's almost as though Mufasa doesn't remember the scene he just came out of. It's like everything was its own silo, and the scenes just operated on their own, which feels as though people were creating in their own department without really... I don't want to assume that they weren't talking to each other, but they were creating in their own department, and when the final product came together, it was feeling disjunct. Everything was beautiful, and the pieces were there, but when it all came together, it did not have the cohesion of one straightforward and straight through story. The other really big thing that needs to be done when you're making a movie like this is we already know what's gonna happen. We know that Scar doesn't become king, we know Mufasa does, we know that Mufasa ends up with Sarabi, so even though there are little moments, you have to make the movie feel important, because otherwise, and what happened is it came across as inconsequential. When people would threaten to kill them, you're like, I know they're not gonna die because they are alive in the next movie, so give me more, give me something else. And so what I was really looking forward to was the bond between Taka and Mufasa. So the characters were really incredible. I did like the animation of the whole movie. The whole movie really, just the animation was breathtaking, and the fact that they designed and created all of this, truly spectacular. To go for ice and snow and lions, really beautiful. And I will also add here that I do believe that the actors did the best that they could. They were really giving it their all, and you can tell that everyone was giving the best that they could to the lines they were given. But the script was stupefying. There were so many moments where the characters would say something that is exactly on screen. For example, as soon as Mufasa loses his parents and he's drifting away on a piece of wood, you hear Rafiki narrating, which we'll get back to the narrating in a second, and the poor lion cub drifted further and further from home. Did we need to hear that? Fine, let it go. That happened 17 more times throughout the movie, where someone would say something that we're already seeing, or the characters would look at each other and say, but I'm not that great because you are that great and you're going to become the king. Like, no one talks like that. If you go back to the original Lion King, which my reaction is going to come up very soon, it is incredibly economical with what they choose to say versus what they choose to show. And here it's, let's show it and say it, and sometimes we won't even show it, we'll just say it. And that is completely not, it doesn't create for an engaging and immersive viewing experience because it feels like you're catering to the lowest denominator, which is for like an infant. And that makes it hard to watch. Speaking of the momentum of the story, because everything felt like it was in silos, the script also had us going back to Rafiki and Timon and Pumbaa and Kiara every 6 minutes. When the movie would finally pick up, almost like Joker 2 when it came out this year. This is why pacing and momentum are so incredible to be the thread throughout your movie, because if you just stitch this piece and just act like they're gonna hang on to each other, that doesn't work. You have to keep making the story move forward. But we would have the story move forward, and then we'd stop and go talk to Rafiki and Timon and Pumbaa singing Hakuna Matata, then saying, no, we can't actually sing it because the legal department's gonna come get us, which is not funny because it's the same department, so they're not even in any legal trouble. It's like if DC or Warner Brothers was gonna make that joke, but this is literally Disney owning their own property, making a joke that it's almost as if, again, it feels like AI would write these jokes in, because how did anyone allow this to happen or be said? And it's not on the actors because they did the best that they could, but it falls so embarrassingly flat. The whole movie comes across as embarrassingly inconsequential. Some of the actors were incredible. I love young Mufasa, young Taka, adult Mufasa, adult Taka, Sarabi, Taka's mom. What was her name? I have notes. Her name is Ishi. I said, I like Ishi. I like Ishi. I said, yeah, the narration was over-explaining, and then the speaking was stilted. Oh yeah, it was as if they recorded like a TikTok video where someone recorded themselves talking one time and then did the audio dialogue on top, but it didn't sync correctly, and they would sometimes just cut each other off. My name is Taka. Your name is Taka? Yeah, I'm Taka. And it didn't feel like they were in the same room conversating. It felt like each person was talking and they slapped them on top of each other. Taka's dad, the voice actor, I wrote annoying. As soon as he meets Mufasa, he says, rah, rah, we're gonna eat you because you are a stray and we never accept strays. And Taka's like, no, let's try. He says, you know what? Well, let's do a race. Which is like, if you wanted to kill him and eat him and you actually believe that you don't allow strays, why is he the one to recommend the race? It should have been Scar's mom who was trying to defend Mufasa's life and said, you should let Taka have his first victory. Let him race Mufasa. And be like, that's a good idea. So it shows that she is orchestrating the situation. It didn't make any sense. I wrote Rafiki and Pumbaa, what? Y'all, this movie made history, unfortunately, because I want you to watch it for this moment, and please come back and report to me because I want to see if anyone else felt this way. People in the theater were chuckling. They give the villain a song, which is also great. But what happened to menacing? To villainy? This song is, I'm going to make you go bye-bye. And we're gonna make you go bye-bye. And he would change his voice to be so bright on the word bye-bye. And the villain was singing bye-bye. What the heck? A lion was singing bye-bye. I listened to the 3 best songs, and they just happened to be the best ones. But because it's so distractingly beautiful, the animation is just so much is happening. They give you these great African expanses, and you're like, I just want to watch this. But then you hear singing, and you're trying to find who's singing, but everyone's moving. And the camera is always in motion, y'all. The camera was always moving underwater, over mountains, and spinning around. Definitely leagues beyond and better than Lion King 2019. I commend them for giving expressive faces to these animals. To the point of having music in a movie, it's just, Howard Ashman and Alan Menken prove that this is possible, and I'm gonna end it here, that when you find the heart in your story, the thing that is propelling it forward is the story. So when your character gets to an emotional obstacle, an emotional climax, they can't do anything but sing. But when you have a lion who has 17 lionesses around and they're about to kill 3 lions, they don't need to start singing about how they're gonna kill them because they can just do it. It's not an emotional peak. It's very much the plateau, but we sing here, and we sing not even something enrapturing or captivating or creative. It's, I'm gonna make you go bye-bye. Why? And then after the song, you'd hear Rafiki said, and then they made them go bye-bye. I commend everyone who worked on it, and I am excited to see what they do with the next movie because there is a new path forward, it seems like, and I hope that we really find our roots, the Lion King roots of script and story, moving the characters forward until a point where they can't anymore, and then the music comes in to save them and bring the audience in. Thank you for watching. You can check out my other reviews here, especially my Lion King 2019 review and my Sonic review, because I have to go watch it right now. Thanks for watching. Ciao! And on that note, bye-bye!